8. You have been standing at a locked door your whole life, shouting through the keyhole, hoping someone on the other side will notice. You pound with prayers that echo like a busy signal. That is the mistake. Pleading is a phone call that never reaches the right line. There is a code. Learn the code, and the door opens. Do this in front of a mirror, and awaken your third eye. Picture this. The mirror is not vanity. It is an amplifier, a modem for inner frequencies. The face you see is not merely skin and bone. It is the interface your consciousness uses to tune into deeper registers. When properly used, the mirror concentrates your attention, aligns your posture, and gives a target for a precise command. This is not about frantic begging. This is about recognition, authority, and command. These are the 3 keys you will learn to use now. Before we begin, a short note. This method is a consciousness technique. It is intended to shift perception and unlock dormant inner access, not to replace medical or psychological care. Do not attempt anything that would harm you physically or jeopardize your mental health. If you are under medical or psychiatric treatment, consult your professional before experimenting with intense inner work. If you're ready to try this, hit subscribe. We go deeper in practice. Miracles, properly understood, are not exceptions scattered across history. They are restorations of original design. The Gnostic line is simple. Something in us remembers the source, while something else keeps that remembrance dim. The forces that obscure are practical, not necessarily malevolent in a mythic way. Structures, habits, and conditioning that teach dependence instead of sovereignty. In ancient language, they are called the demiurge and archontus. In modern terms, they are the systems and inner programs that keep you negotiating for scraps. Jesus' action with Lazarus is instructive here, not because it is a show of supernatural favor, but because it demonstrates method. He did not entreat the system. He issued a decisive command and closed the circuit. That same logic applies to interior work, recognition of origin, the standing in authority, and the delivery of a focused directive. Understand the 3 keys as frequencies you can tune. Recognition is the reset. It is the memory activation that tells you who you truly are beneath the conditioning. Authority is the posture of that memory, realized, not arrogance, but the legal standing of a sovereign. Command is the transmission. A short, sharp instruction issued with the certainty of one who knows the protocol. When combined, they form a code that bypasses pleading and hits the source. Recognition. Say to yourself, not as a wish, but as an acknowledgement, I remember. Feel it in the chest. It is a tiny electrical event, a warmth, a tightening, a nod from something older than your biography. Authority. Adopt a physical posture that matches the inner claim. Shoulders back, spine vertical, voice grounded. You are not a petitioner. You are an operator at a console. Command. Speak plainly, in concise sentences, present tense, as if the action is already complete. Short, precise, unarged. Now, the practical sequence. This is the mirror protocol, adapted for third eye activation. Follow each step carefully, and with respect, keep your eyes gentle. Do not strain them. Sit or stand comfortably. If you are prone to dissociation or psychosis, do not attempt without professional guidance. 1. Clear the noise. Your mind is never silent, and silence is not required. The task is to stop arguing with thoughts. Do not chase them. Imagine a radio station full of static. You are not tasked with fixing the static, only with tuning the dial. For 3 breaths, direct your attention to the rhythm of the breath. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. On the out-breath, imagine the surface tension of thought relaxing. Do not resist. Allow the thoughts to pass like clouds. This is not avoidance. It is reallocation of attention. To prepare the mirror and posture, place a mirror at chest height so you can see your face clearly without tilting the head. Natural light is best. Soft, even illumination prevents the eyes from straining. Sit or stand with feet grounded, knees unlocked. Bring your spine into a straight line, imagining a column of light running from the base of the spine to the crown. Relax the jaw. Soften the gaze. The point of focus will be the space between the eyebrows, the third eye. If you wear glasses, remove them. The mirror is the concentrator. It will reflect the point where your inner focus meets the outward image. 3. Descend. The elevator of attention. Drop your awareness from the surface mind into the heart. Visualize an elevator that travels down your spine and stops at the center of the chest. With each breath, imagine that elevator descending one floor deeper until your attention lands in the heart center. This is the generating room. The heart is a transducer. It converts memory into frequency. Feel the heartbeat as a metronome of authenticity. Do not rush. Allow the descent to feel physical, a slight warmth, a gentle pressure, like a hand placed over the sternum. For resonance, find your signature. Once you are centered in the chest, begin to hum inwardly, a low, sympathetic tone felt more than heard. This is not about singing perfectly. It's about creating a resonant field. Imagine you are tuning an instrument to the pitch of the monad, the original signature of being. With each inhalation, feel the hum expand. It should be carried into the throat and resonate in the sternum and belly. Notice any subtle shifts. Currents of relaxation, the sense of a thinner boundary between you and your reflection. These are sensors telling you the field is aligning. 5. Anchor the gaze between the brows. Look at your reflection and softly direct your focus to the tiny area between your eyebrows, at the bridge of the nose, not to the eyes directly, but to the space there. The mirror gives you a target. Your inner attention, now anchored in the chest, sends a thread of awareness up the spinal column toward that point. Do not strain the eyes. Let the focus be a gentle candle flame. 6. Issue the command. This is the operative moment. Use short, present tense statements that carry certainty. Say them aloud, directed at your reflection and the point between the eyebrows, as if pressing a sequence on a keypad. Speak with a voice that is steady and grounded in the belly. Feel each line vibrate through the chest into the throat. Here are examples you may use, adapted to your comfort and belief. Choose the ones that land with authority for you. Keep phrases concise. Sample protocol phrases. Monad, I remember. I reclaim my sight. Limitation dissolves. Authority restored. Alignment is commanded. It is done. You may combine 2 or 3 lines. For example, monad, I remember. I reclaim my sight. Alignment is commanded. It is done. Keep it short. Do not flood the protocol with explanations. The command must be a clean transmission. As you speak, feel the sound in your diaphragm. The tone matters more than the volume. It should be low, steady, and free of pleading. See the words as electrical impulses traveling toward the brow point in the mirror. Do not narrate. Do not beg. Issue the directive as a system call. 7. Solter, the release. After delivering the command, perform an intentional release. This is crucial. Do not watch for instant proof. Do not stand over the action, like a parent waiting for a child to report back. Exhale fully, and let your attention move back into the breath. Visualize the words you spoke turning into a ripple that leaves you and continues on its own. You have initiated the instruction. Now, you let it unfold. Trust the field to process. Avoid obsessively repeat. The correct attitude is neutral confidence, not vigilante surveillance. 8. Close the practice. Lower your gaze from the mirror slowly. Rub your palms together. Place them gently over your heart and breathe 3 full breaths. Allow any residual sensations to be integrated rather than analyzed. Record any immediate impressions in a journal, simply noting time, mood, and any subtle shifts. You are building a data set, not a drama. Expect reactions. The system that has kept you in dependency does not always step aside politely. When you use this protocol, you may experience several types of responses. Knowing them prevents panic and preserves momentum. Shutdown, doubt. The most common early reaction is internal resistance. It sounds like, that was nothing, or small, urgent questions that pull you into debate. This is the inner gatekeeper attempting to reassert control. Do not engage. Observe the thought as if it were a passing notification. Return to neutral breath. If necessary, repeat the recognition phrase once more and let it be enough. Collapse. Sometimes structures that maintained your limitation will fall away in a way that feels destabilizing. Old routines may lose traction, relationships may shift, or habitual narratives may loosen. This is not catastrophic. It is demolition preceding renovation. Treat collapse as proof of clearing. Ground heavily, walk, drink water, breathe slowly, and journal. If emotions intensify, seek supportive presence or professional help. Echoes, synchronicities. The field may respond with small confirmations, coincidences, insights dropping into your awareness, someone mentioning a relevant image, or an unexpected door opening. These are not guarantees but signals that the transmission found purchase. Note them without fetishizing them. Neutrality. The clearest and rarest proof is neutrality. An inner conviction that does not need external validation. It is quiet, unshowy, and sustained. When you hit neutrality, you will know, because the urge to check will fade. Treat neutrality as the internal readout that the code was accepted. Resist the temptation to narrativize every small sign. Learning the protocol is cumulative. The discipline is to practice with integrity and to respond to reactions with calm adjustment rather than panic. Now, a few operational pointers about interference. The mind is a battleground of distraction. The enemies here are not demons in the sensational sense, but patterns, doubt, overanalysis, and compulsion to monitor. Your countermeasures are simple. Do not engage doubt. If a thought scoffs or nags, say inwardly, "Not now," and return to breath. This is not suppression, but triage. Create an anti-rumination routine. After a practice, set 2 minutes to jot sensations, then close the notebook. That closure signals the mind the session is complete. Limit replaying. Repetition is not the same as rehearsal. Equivalent to pressing refresh on a page that is already loading, obsessive replay drains the field. Trust the release. A word on authority versus arrogance. Authority here is the rightful expression of your essential being. It is anchored in humility and recognition of a source beyond ego. It is not about domination or imposing wills on others. Use the protocol for your alignment, not to coerce. The ethical compass of inner sovereignty is intactness and restoration, not control over others. A short liturgical command you can use in private practice, addressed to the monad, follows. Speak it with presence. These lines are brief, and in the voice of certainty. Monad, I stand in my original light. I reclaim what was hidden. The veil lifts. The capacity returns. It is done. Speak them once, with clarity. Then release it. After you complete the ritual, maintain a cautious watch for the signs discussed. If the system reacts with a shutdown, do not retaliate. Return to neutral. If you observe echoes, log them. If neutrality comes, let it be your guide. There are practical adjustments for different bodies and contexts. If you have trouble sitting still, practice the descent while walking slowly in front of the mirror. If you find the mirror too intense, use a reflective surface that partially obscures the face. The aim is concentrated attention, not exposure. If you feel dizzy or overwhelmed at any point, stop, breathe, and ground by touching the floor or holding a glass of water. Safety is primary. A brief caution about institutions. Traditional systems often teach dependence because dependence preserves control. This is not a blanket indictment of religion. Many traditions contain real paths to liberation. My critique is directed at patterns that train people to beg rather than to remember. True spiritual maturity encourages sovereign relationship with the source, not endless supplication to intermediaries. If a community supports your growth and accountability, remain there. If it exploits fear and fosters helplessness, reevaluate with wisdom and support. Keep a short practice log for 30 days. Note dates, times, brief sensations, and any notable external events. Over time, you will begin to see patterns, shifts in perception, small synchronizations, or new inner certainties. Those patterns are your proof, not dramatic spectacle. A final technical note: the intention and the tone matter more than elaborate phrasing. The 3 keys repeated in sequence, recognition, authority, command, form a concise ritual architecture. Each practice need not last long. Regular, disciplined application yields stronger results than rare frenzied attempts. Now I will give you a compact template you can use tonight, in front of a mirror. Follow it exactly. Adapt as needed, but keep the core structure. 3 grounding breaths. Descend to heart with an imagined elevator. Hum lightly to find resonance. Soften gaze to the space between brows. Speak 1 short command sequence, allowed 3 to 5 lines max. Exhale fully and release attention. Journal 1 sentence about how you feel. Example, sequence to use. Monad, I remember. I reclaim my inner sight. Limitations dissolve. Alignment is commanded. It is done. If during or after the practice you experience something intense, strong emotions, vivid imagery, or disorientation, do not panic. Ground with breath. Reach out to a trusted friend, or contact a professional. This work opens doors. Sometimes what's behind them requires support. This era asks for a different posture. The old model of supplication kept many independents. The code I have given is an invitation to reawaken the operative memory that you are a participant, not a petitioner. You move from asking to commanding from the place of recognized origin. That shift changes the relationship between you and reality. A final prayer to close this instruction, addressed directly to the monad, short and authoritative. Monad, I stand in my true pattern. Sovereignty returns. The obscuring falls away, so it is. Stand or sit for a moment afterward and simply breathe. Do not analyze. Let the field process the signal you sent. The correct next steps are ordinary. Rest, water, gentle movement, and a brief note in your journal. Over the next days, watch for the subtle signs. A different decision that feels right, an unexpected coincidence, or a quiet inner steadiness. Those are the echoes and the unfolding of the work. If you activated something, drop the phrase, I activate the monad in the comments below. 1 short line anchors a collective field and helps others know they are not alone on this path. Remember, this is a practice in sovereignty. It does not promise medical miracles or material windfalls. It does offer a technical approach to waking a deeper sense of perception and authority. Use it responsibly. Seek help when needed. Respect the figures and stories that guide you. Use them as examples, not as literal guarantees. Go now and try. Learn the code. Open the door.